Thank you so much for joining today. We're going to start today's class coming into a beach chair setup. So if you have blocks and a pillow, that would be a great option. If you don't have blocks, a book would work as well. Our goal, or anything really that you can use to prop up here. So our goal is to have the head just a little bit higher than the lower back, and then to put the pillow on top of it at a bit of an angle. We'll allow our hips to come up close to the pillow, maybe a few inches, up to 6 really, but find out what feels good for you. And then as you start to lean back, allow your back to lie down the middle of your pillow. Let your head feel supported. Your legs can be in a constructive rest with the soles of the feet planted and the knees bent towards the ceiling. You take the legs out long if that feels good for you. Or you could even bring them into a butterfly here, bringing the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. Maybe adding a pillow or a blanket under each knee, adding just a little bit more comfort here. As we set up for our grounding moment here. Now you're welcome to allow your hands to rest on the body, on your props, or on the floor. Allow yourself to settle in here. And maybe you even close the eyes or simply soften the gaze. Allowing your breath to become a little longer, a little deeper, and more intentional with each moment. With each inhale and each slow, steady exhale. As you take this next deep breath in, slowly fill your lungs with air. Notice and feel as your torso and belly expand. Now, as you exhale gently, begin to notice the sensations of release. This breath is your life force, the bridge between you, your body, and your mind. Breathing is an essence of being alive. It's an involuntary action that sustains life. Yet when we bring conscious awareness to our breath, it becomes a powerful tool for healing and balance. Focusing on our breath helps us to anchor in the present moment, away from the distractions and stresses of daily life. Research has shown that mindful breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the body's rest and digest activities. This engagement helps to calm the mind and reduce stress. Mindfulness meditation, which often involves breath awareness, has been proven to improve mental and physical health, been proven to reduce anxiety, depression, and can even help reduce physical pain. By paying attention to our breath, such a simple act, we increase the awareness of all of our bodily states. And this awareness allows us to recognize stress and tension. And through the act of breathing deeply, we can begin to release it. The breath then serves as a natural tranquilizer for the nervous system, bringing a sense of peace and relaxation to our entire being. So as we continue to breathe deeply here, begin to imagine each breath as a wave washing over you, bringing calm and tranquility. With every inhale, visualize clarity and energy entering your bodies. And with every exhale, imagine stress and worry leaving your body, allowing yourself to sink deeper into a moment of relaxation, supported by the steady rhythm of your breath. That beautiful focus on our breath itself will start to come into our breathing exercise, allowing a mental focus on the function of the breath. We'll breathe in for our count of 3, 2, 1. We'll pause and hold the air at the top, another 3, 2, 1. And then extending our exhale to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll continue in this fashion, breathing in for 3, pausing for 3, slow, steady exhale for a count of 6. And after a couple cycles of breath, you're welcome to release the count and feel that rhythm naturally, matching our inhale and our pause and extending the length of our exhale to twice as long. Just a couple more like that. Allow yourself to truly connect to nothing other than your breath for the next 2 cycles of breath. Beautiful job today. We'll begin to release that breath, allowing our breathing to find its natural rhythm without adjusting it or changing it in any way. We'll take a moment to offer ourselves a little bit of gratitude that we took time out of our busy day, out of our busy week, to slow down, find a moment to truly connect to our breath today. And throughout our practice, knowing that we can return our focus into that counted breath, breathing in for 3, pausing for 3, and exhaling to 6 as a great mental focus, way to connect with our breath throughout this flow. We'll take one last moment here. And then as you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. You did take your legs down into a butterfly, circle your hands down on either side of the thighs, using them to push them up into a constructive rest. And from here, we'll come out of this picture, out of this beach chair pose. And let's come up to an easy, comfortable seated position. So you're welcome to move any props out of your way that you don't need. If you'd like to sit up on a block or a pillow, you're welcome to do that. And let's come into just a crisscross applesauce as we sit with a straight spine. And if it doesn't feel great to do that with our knees bent, you can also send those legs out long and wide. We're gonna grab something long and skinny like our yoga strap or a belt, or really anything that allows us to wrap it around the outside of our back. So we're just gonna bring the item, whatever we're using, and we're gonna tuck it around our rib cage, around the back side. And then we're gonna take and we're gonna scrunch either our hands or our arms so that they're touching the sides of our body as we're holding that prop. You know, you can either keep your eyes open here or you're welcome to close them as well. But we're going to take just about 2 of those breaths, that breathing in for 3, pausing for 3, exhaling for 6 breaths. As you do, just connect with that breath, but connect with the physical sensation of having that prop wrapped around the outside of the torso. Maybe notice subtle things like your torso pressing against your hand or the strap. Maybe you feel a deflating as you exhale. After you take that full second breath, we'll then extend our arms along that prop. We're going to cross one side over to the other side. We're going to take it in that hand. We're going to crisscross it over the rib cage. So now we have the opposite strap or whatever the prop is in opposite hand. And just like before, we're going to squeeze our elbows in by our sides. We're going to hold the strap, maybe palms up with the straps in our fists. Then we're going to take that same 3, 6 count breath. So take it at your own pace, inhaling for 3, pausing for 3, exhaling for 6. And again, we're going to just simply notice what we notice, connecting to our breath. Now make sure that you're not pulling on the strap so hard that you're creating pressure that doesn't need to be there. We're simply helping this to connect us to that breath. Great job. Last time. Great job. We'll go ahead and release that strap, moving it out of the way. And then let's inhale, let the arms float up and overhead. Maybe take the gaze up. Beautiful job. And then exhale, flip the palms, circle them towards the ground behind you. Now, if you're up on a prop, you may want to bring a prop behind you. To press into, you can press your hands into the ground, into the prop. You can even just grab your own shirt, dragging it down towards the mat. The goal here is to find an arch of the heart, pulling it forward, lifting the chin, lifting the gaze, maybe rolling those shoulder blades back towards each other, a seated camel position. Feeling that big breath. Beautiful job. Our next inhale, release that, and we'll come on over to all fours, coming onto hands and knees. Lining up wrist and shoulders, knees and hips. You're welcome to add a little cushioning under those knees if you'd like. Begin to drop the belly and lift the gaze. Exhaling, take it in the opposite direction. And feel free to move at your own pace, fast or slow. Connecting breath to movement. All righty, let's go ahead and find a little bit of a pause. And then we're going to take our right hand, we're going to lift it up out to the side and even up towards the ceiling just a little bit, opening up through our torso. And then with our exhale, let's thread the needle, taking that hand behind the left one as we begin to drop the right shoulder and ear towards the mat. Beautiful job, sinking it in there. And you're always welcome to extend that left arm long if that feels good for you. Take a moment to check in with the legs, making sure they're staying parallel. And that one foot hasn't started to walk in towards the center. Beautiful job. Next, exhale, slides left hand back if you extended it. And our inhale reaches right arm out to the side and up. Counter stretching. Exhale to release, second side. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, thread the needle, drop the shoulder and ear. Maybe extend that right arm. You're doing a beautiful job. Sinking into that twist, checking in with the legs. Exhale to slide right hand under right shoulder. Inhale, counter or stretch, opening it back up. Exhale, tabletop. And then let's drop our elbows where our hands are as we come into a puppy pose. We can keep the hands parallel or bring them to a triangle, hands in a prayer. Begin to walk the knees back and let the forehead sink towards the mat a little or a lot. It comes in between the arms. You're stretching out through the underarms, noticing how that feels. Connecting with our breath. Great job. Inhale to walk the knees back under the hips and come back into your tabletop. From here, we'll tuck the toes and we'll start to lift the hands as we come to stand on the knees. Let's go ahead and take that right leg out, coming into gate pose. And as you're ready, letting both arms float up and then overhead, reaching up tall, lengthening through the left side of the body. And then let's take our right hand either to the right hip or maybe sliding it down the right leg or onto a prop outside of the right leg as we circle that left hand up and overhead. Really feel some length through that left side. And then let's find a little bit of movement through this top shoulder, taking it in big circles as we explore that shoulder joint. And then reverse it a couple times. Good job. Our next inhale brings us back to a straight spine. We're using a prop. Go ahead and switch it to the other hand. We're going to bring our left hand down to the floor and circle right hand up and over, balancing, counterbalancing that stretch. Great job. Come back through center. Bring right foot in. And let's take it to the left. Left leg extends, sole of the foot comes to the floor. Inhale, both arms float up. Exhale, left hand at hip, slide it down the leg or on a prop, and then begin to let the right hand circle over to the left. Notice how that side stretch feels. And then start to explore the shoulder, taking big circles with that upper arm. And then reverse it. Inhale, arms come to a T, straight spine. Exhale, counter stretch. Beautiful job. As you inhale, come through center. And then we'll find our way coming up to a standing mountain. Getting there in your own time, in your own way. We'll find our mountain pose, making sure our feet are firmly planted. And then as you're ready, inhale, circle arms up, reach them up, tall mountain. Feel that length and extension, just like in gate pose before we bend to the side. And then with your exhale, rain the fingertips down as we come into our first forward fold standing. Keep a generous bend in the knees. The hands can rest on your props, your legs, or the floor. You can find a little stillness or maybe find a little movement. And we'll all eventually end up in some stillness. We'll press into our hands wherever they're located, lifting up halfway, figure 7, gaze stays down. Exhale to hinge and fold. As we bend the knees, we'll sink through the hips and we'll take a slow roll coming all the way up to mountain. Once the shoulders and the head arrive, then we'll allow the arms to float back up and overhead, tall mountain. Beautiful job. Let's bring the right hand down to the right hip and then lean over to the right. Inhale through center, switch it to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist at the hips, taking one arm behind and one arm in front. Inhale through center. Twist it to the left. Inhale through center. Reach it up, reach it up. And then with an exhale, bring hands down through a prayer into your mountain pose. All right, we're going to take a quick balance challenge. If you like using a strap, you're welcome to grab one for this. And you're welcome to also have a hand by a prop for a little more balance. We're going to shift our weight over to the right. Begin to bend that left knee and draw that left heel up towards your hip. Now this is where the strap might come in handy, wrapping the foot around the strap. You could also grab your foot or your ankle or even just the pant leg of your pant to help support this stretch. We're dropping the knee towards the floor, keeping the spine straight. If you're not holding on to something or want a little more extra balance, help, support, you could stare at something on the floor that's not moving. Beautiful job. All right, last breath here. Exhale to release the right side. Take any movement you need. And then we're going to switch over to the left. So weight comes to the right. We start to lift that left knee, capturing foot with hand, strap, or pant leg. Drawing heel towards the hip. You can always have your opposite hand again on a prop on your hip or out to the side as a counterbalance. Great job. Last breath. Exhale to release. Beautiful job. Allow your arms to float up to a T. We're then going to take the right hand under the left as we come into an eagle arm variation. You can hold on the shoulders. You can start to work the hands towards each other, the backs of hands, the fronts of hands, or you're always welcome to grab that long skinny strap option and place it in between the fingers and the hands. Wherever you're at, we're keeping our spine straight, but a gentle bend in our knees. And we're feeling our breath as the shoulder blades start to separate here. In each pose today, can you connect with that full deep breath, or maybe that counted breath? Great job. Exhale to release. And then let's take the left arm under the right, taking it into the opposite eagle arm variation. Beautiful job. And last breath here. Exhale to release. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bring it down through a prayer into your mountain pose. All right, we're gonna step the left foot back for triangle pose. We're gonna turn the toes out to the side. We're gonna open up the hips. That front foot is still pointing towards the front of the room. And then as you're ready, arms float up to a T. Now we're gonna start to pull that front fingertips as far forward as we can. And then when we can't reach it any further forward, begin to tilt, bringing that hand down to a prop or to your leg. And then working to stack wrist and shoulders in a straight line as you pull your back hip towards the wall behind you. Beautiful job. We're going to revolve our triangle, taking that top hand, that left hand, we begin to pull it down towards our prop, letting the hips come down toward parallel towards the floor. And you can either keep both hands on your prop or begin to take the same hand as the front leg, that right hand, and begin to take it out to the side and up. You can add a bend to the front knee if you'd like, or work to keep it straight. Great job. Exhale through center. Inhale to bring it back up. Triangle prep. Great job. Let's bring that back foot in. Mountain pose. And then let's step it to the opposite side. Right leg comes back. Triangle pose. Prep. Inhale, pull the fingertip forward. Exhale, fold. Stacking wrist and shoulders, your gaze can be down, straight ahead, or even up, making sure your head and neck feel supported. Beautiful job. If your gaze is anything but on the floor, go ahead and look down towards where your front hand is, and then take that lifted hand, begin to drop it towards your prop, letting the hips come to a neutral position, and then again, outside hand, front hand, starts to take it into a twist. Revolving your triangle. Beautiful job. Exhale to release both hands to the prop. Inhale, straight spine, triangle prep. Great job. Step it back in, mountain pose. Alrighty, from here, let's step the left foot back, just about a foot, coming onto the ball of the foot, lifting the heel up. As we do that, we'll let the arms float up. Let the right hand come to the right hip, and then lean to the right. Inhale through center, keep the feet just like they are, twist to the right, arms open wide. Combining some of the moves we've already done. Inhale through center. Step the back foot in. Opposite side steps back. Left hand comes to hip. Lean to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, step that back foot in, and then bring it down through your prayer into your mountain pose. Great job. Feel free to take any movement your body needs. Inhale, halfway lift or tall mountain. Exhale, rain it down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to bring the hands down towards the mat as we step back into a tabletop once again. And as we'll be here for a few more minutes, you're also welcome to add that cushioning back under your knees if you'd like. We're then going to take our right leg, we're going to bring it forward for a grounded crescent lunge. You're welcome to keep your hands on the floor or a prop. You could start to shift the hips forward. Maybe bring the hands up to a knee. Maybe bring them up to a prayer. Maybe start to lift them up alongside the ears. really sinking those hips forward. You're doing great. The back toes can be tucked or untucked, depending on what feels better for your body. Beautiful job. One more breath here. Our next exhale circles hands down to the floor or to our props. And then let's start to straighten that front leg. And we'll take it out long in front of us into a half splits. We'll begin to peel the toes back. You can keep a bend in the front knee or work to keep it straighter. We'll lengthen through the spine. And then as you exhale, hinge over that front. Great job. We'll inhale to roll back through our low lunge, bending through the knee. We're going to leave our opposite hand on the floor or on our prop. And then let's take the same hand as our front leg. Take it out to the side and up. Reach it up towards the ceiling. And then with your next exhale, reach it back towards the foot behind you. Beautiful job. All right, unwind the spine. Hands come back to frame the front foot. Tabletop pose. Feel free to take any movement you need. And then let's take that second side, bringing opposite foot forward. Shift the weight down in the hips. Hands can stay on your prop. Come up to the knee, or maybe lift in the air as you sink into this crescent lunge, grounded crescent lunge. Doing a beautiful job. One more breath here. Exhale, hands come down. Half splits. Extending the leg long, peeling the toes back. Front knee bent or straight. Exhale, hinge, forward fold. Beautiful job. As you're ready, roll back into your crescent or your grounded lunge. Planting opposite hand. Inhale, same hand as the front leg. Lifts and twists. Exhales, lowers and points to the foot behind you. Inhale to release. Exhale, bring it into a tabletop pose. Great job. Alrighty, you're welcome to keep props under your hands or come down to the floor with your hands. But we're going to take a plank variation here. So the goal is to keep the hands and shoulders in that straight line and start to create a straight line from the hips to the top of the head. Now you're welcome to bring the knees down and lift the toes in a half plank. Or if you're feeling a bit more froggy, tuck the toes and lift the knees. Coming into a full plank. Wherever you're at today, take a moment to notice if you're feeling a lot of pressure in those wrists. That's maybe where you bring those blocks back under the wrist, taking just a little bit of pressure out of them. You could also bring it up to a wall, whether you're on your knees or on your feet. But again, we're just coming shoulder distance and putting enough weight into our wrist so that we feel a little loading in the wrist, elbow, and shoulder joint, from no matter where our plank position is. Really work to keep a straight spine. One last breath in our plank of choice. With our next exhale, we're going to take our torso as close to our prop as we can. So if you're on a wall, maybe you're walking up a little closer. If you're on the ground, coming down onto your belly. Once your torso touches the prop, begin to inhale, lift the gaze, lift the chin, roll the shoulders back for a cobra pose. Great job. Exhale to release. And then we'll find our way into a child's pose. Taking the knees wide, the toes together. Extending the arms out long as we sink the forehead down towards the mat. Feel free to take a moment, making any wiggles or movement you'd like so that you can settle in here. Maybe even come back for a cycle or two of that counted breath. Noticing anything there is to notice as you connect to your breath here. Our next inhale rolls us up, and then let's come on to our hips. And then let's roll down onto our backs and come directly into a constructive rest. Feel free to grab a prop like your block and bring that nearby for some prop support later. We're going to draw our heels as close to our hips as possible, and then keep the feet about hip distance apart. We'll start to lift the right knee and foot, and we'll come into a figure four, crossing the right ankle over that left knee and allowing the right knee to open up to the outside. Noticing how this feels. You're welcome to keep that foot firmly planted on the mat, that left foot. Or if you'd like, you can start to lift that foot and thread the needle, bringing your arms around that left leg, either behind the thigh, behind the shin, or grabbing your strap and using that. Beautiful job. Last breath here. Exhale the lower left foot if it was off the ground. We're then going to shift the hips over to the right side and begin to allow the right foot to come down towards the floor on the right side, taking this into a twist. Now, if this feels too deep, feel free to uncross the legs and stack them instead. Your hands can be resting on your body or out to a cactus or even a T. Beautiful job. Keeping the legs where they are. Inhale to come back to rest in your figure four. And then we're going to take that right knee, hug it towards our chest, and then out towards a half happy baby. Letting the right knee fall outside the rib cage, lifting the foot towards the ceiling, holding anywhere foot, ankle, or thigh, or strap. Notice how that side feels. Great job. Exhale to release constructive rest. Left foot comes over to right, figure four. Knee falls out to the left side. Right foot stays planted or lifts, threading the needle. Enjoying that nice hip movement on that outer left side. Noticing how it feels as you connect to your breath. And tucking your chin just slightly to keep the back of the spine really straight here. All right, if you lifted that right leg, go ahead and bring the foot back down to the ground so we can take the twist, letting the left foot come over to the right floor. Again, feel free to bump the hips to make a little space for your body. Keeping the legs where they are or uncrossing them and stacking the knees is always a great option as well. We'll take just a couple more breaths in this twist. Beautiful job. Exhale to untwist, coming back into the reclined figure four. And then bringing left knee towards your torso. Half happy baby. Doing a beautiful job here, really exploring, connecting to the breath and to your movements. Exhale to release, constructive rest. Bring the heels as close to the hips as you can. Go ahead and grab that block we talked about earlier, the prop. It could be even a pillow if you want something a little softer. And then as we inhale, we're going to start to peel up one vertebrae at a time, squeezing our glutes, coming into a bridge pose. You're doing a great job. Go ahead and take that prop, sliding it under your lower back. Let it rest against your prop, letting the hips come down. You could be at any height, depending on how high your block has different options. So taking the back bend that feels the best for you in this moment, letting those hips rest, keeping the spine long. Beautiful job here. Our next inhale, maybe letting the right knee come in for a little compression at the hip. And then we'll bring that foot up towards the ceiling, pointing the foot towards the ceiling. And let's point and flex a few times. Great job. With our next exhale, we're going to point the toes and then draw a line as we lower the leg away from us, over the prop for a deep back bend. Great job. Now you're always welcome to leave that leg extended or bend it back into bridge pose. Inhale, left knee comes in. Exhale, take it to the ceiling, point and flex. Point the toes, exhale to slowly lower foot towards the floor. Maybe taking a moment to extend both legs or lift arms overhead, full body back bend over your prop. Beautiful job. As you're ready, exhale to lower hands by your hips. Inhale to bend the knees, bringing feet back in alignment with the knees. Take one more gentle breath in resting bridge pose. Our next inhale, we get a little bit of energy as we start to squeeze through the muscles of the legs. We squeeze through the glutes. We lift the abdomen off the prop and not leave the bus. We remove the prop. We're going to continue to squeeze for just 1 minute more or a moment more, really engaging through our core. And then with a slow, steady exhale, lower hips all the way to the mat. Widen the feet a little wider than hip distance and then roll through the hips, taking a nice, beautiful windshield wiper here. Our next inhale, bring the knees through center and then hug both knees in towards your chest, creating a little bit of compression there, rounding through the back. And then we're going to take a counter stretch. Full happy baby, bringing both knees outside of the legs, bending a 90-ish degree. You can hold anywhere from feet to knees, or even have your block or strap wrapped around it. You could rock a little left to right, giving your back a massage. You could straighten and bend the knees if that feels good for you. Maybe combining both or something completely different. It's your last few breaths. So take a moment to connect with your breath, with your movement, and with anything that your body needs. Beautiful job. Alrighty. Well, then allow the feet to come down towards the mat. We'll allow both knees to fall over to the right side. You can stack the knees or you can stagger them. We'll take one final twist here. Feel free to add props or binds if you like them. Allow each exhale to soften your body into this space. Beautiful job. Let's bring the knees through center, over to the left. Feel free to bump the hips if you'd like. Feel free to add different things or change it up. Maybe this side you need a prop in between the legs a little bit more. You're doing a great job. Beautiful job. Our inhale, let's come back through center. We'll end our class the same way we started our class, in that beach chair position. Bringing a prop taller, a prop shorter, a pillow or a bolster along that edge. You're welcome. Since we're gonna be here for a few minutes, to really make this juicy and yummy, so maybe you wanna add some weights here, something on your abdomen or on your feet. Again, with the feet, the same thing. You could do a constructive rest. You could send the legs out long, or maybe come into a supported butterfly. And similar to the beginning of class, you're welcome to rest your hands on your body, on your prop, or maybe even feel what it might feel like to open them out like butterfly wings, opening through your heart space. We'll find a way to make it feel restful, maybe bringing props under your arms to support them if you'd like. As we settle in here, I invite you to close your eyes and to simply soften your gaze. Feel the props in the ground underneath of you, supporting you here in this moment. Maybe even taking the time to notice the temperature of the air that's touching your skin. We'll start to notice our breath once more, not changing it in any way or focusing on counting it or anything like that. Just simply connecting with it as it is. Noticing where the air comes in through the nose or mouth. Following it as it comes into your torso. Exhaling, feeling it leave the body. As we take this moment to relax into our bodies, we'll allow ourselves to truly be comfortable. If something doesn't feel as comfortable as it should, knowing that at any moment we can adjust so that we can focus fully on the breath, the body, the words that I'm speaking. Take a moment to notice how your body feels. As you take a deep breath in, let's hold it for just a moment. And then as you breathe out, release any tension, returning to the natural breath. Breathe in again. And as you exhale, allow the body to relax a little bit more. And continue to breathe slowly, deeply, as we begin to visualize the following scene. Let your body and mind become more and more relaxed with each moment. We'll imagine ourselves walking outdoors on a beautiful spring day. You are walking through the trees. Maybe they're aspens or pine, or maybe beautiful oak trees, cypress. But their leaves move slightly in a gentle spring breeze. The spring sun shines down warmly, gently. This may be someplace you've been to many times before. Maybe it's special here in this moment today. Continue to walk through the trees as you notice a clearing up ahead. As you come closer to the clearing in the trees, you see that on the other side is a beautiful meadow. You walk out of the trees and into the meadow. As tall spring grasses gently blow. Notice you're feeling a bit tired in this moment. You're full of energy. Maybe it would be nice to rest in the grasses of the meadow. Walking further into the meadow now, you look around. Can you imagine the meadow in your mind's eye? What does this meadow look like? You find a place to rest. You might sit or lie down, maybe in the grass or on a rock. Perhaps you even have a blanket that you unroll over the soft grass and sit down or lay. As you settle in, you feel the spring breeze caress your skin. The warm sun. It's a pleasant day, not too warm, not hot, not cold. Perfect temperature for your ultimate comfort. And it's quiet, peaceful here. As you begin to notice the sights around you, the grass whispering. Maybe there's a mix of meadow grasses, clover, wildflowers, all around you. Maybe you watch as a small ladybug climbs a blade of grass, climbing up towards the top, pausing for just a moment before it flies away. Maybe you imagine closing your eyes and listening to the sounds of the meadow. Can you hear birds singing? breeze rustling the grass softly, the buzz of helpful insects, or the rattle of the sheer cicadas. Feel the sun on your face. Maybe even imagine turning your face up towards the sky, feeling the warmth of the sun. A deep breath, smell the grass, the wildflowers, even the smell of the sun on the warm dirt of the earth. Look around again and see the sights around you. Notice how the ground follows gentle contours of hills, the mountains. Notice the blue sky above you. Maybe a few wispy clouds drifting by slowly. And see the trees at the edge of your meadow that you just came through. The meadow is lush and green, a haven for birds and animals. And as you watch, maybe a deer peers out through the trees and emerges to graze at the edge of your meadow. The deer raises its head to look at you, sniffing the breeze. And then it turns, disappearing as silently into the trees as it came out. Rest in this luxurious, peaceful, beautiful meadow. Noticing the sights, sounds, and the smells of your surrounding. Taking the time to feel the soft grass beneath you, and the warm spring sun and breezes against your skin. Allow yourself to connect not only with your breath, but to all the details of this beautiful place. Breathing in and breathing out gently. Now it's time for us to start to leave our meadow and return to our present spaces. We'll begin to allow the images to fade from our mind. And once again, notice our surroundings, feeling the surfaces that are beneath of us, and hearing the sounds that are in your actual space and room. As you're ready, take the deepest breath of your day so far. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes, and flutter your eyes open, allowing yourself to reorient into your space. Feel free to take a moment to stretch your muscles letting your body reawaken. And then in your own time and in your own way, start to make it to an upright position facing me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great week ahead of you. And I look forward to seeing you in class again soon. Thank you.